As much as I would like to talk about a female sorority of fake astronauts that spent millions of dollars and an eco footprint of a lifetime to travel up to space adjacent for like 5 minutes, we have bigger things to discuss. And it's Donald's new decor in the White House. Because why does the Oval Office look like a Claire's jewelry store from 2010 vomited everywhere? Why is there so much gold? I noticed this while filming my video on the visit of the El Salvador president. And I was like, did someone loot prop storage from the Pirates of the Caribbean? What's happening here? Some of you asked me to investigate, and so I'm here with the story, and it's worse than you thought it would be. First, let's take a look at the Oval Office while Biden was still president. A touch of color with the Swedish ivy on the mantle. It's very in line with the style of architecture of the White House. Neoclassical, Georgian, Federalist style. You know, like someone who isn't trying to compensate for something. In comparison, Donald Trump was actually conservative during his first tenure while decorating. He spent like $3 million, I guess that's a thing, on furnishing the White House the first time around. Probably because he was never there, to be honest. So he said this time he really, really wanted to bring his stamp onto the White House. And I guess his stamp just means that everything is gilded and gold-leafed and just generally gaudy and awful. He does continue the trend of adding the eagles. He really loved adding those in his first tenure. And The Guardian has a whole interesting story article about this. So obviously Donald Trump says that he prefers the eagle because it represents this country. It's the symbol of our nation and patriotism and freedom, despite the fact that the bird absolutely tried to take him out. Do you remember that? That was so funny. Sometimes this timeline does give us good things. But wait until you hear this. I can't stop thinking about it. One of the founding fathers, you may know him as Benjamin Franklin, said that he was actually disappointed in the bald eagle being chosen as a mascot for this country. Quote, "I wish the bald eagle had not been chosen as a representative of our country." In writing to his daughter, he said this. "He is a bird of bad moral character. He does not get his living honestly. The eagle is too lazy to fish for himself, so he waits on a nearby branch and steals from other birds instead. Like those among men who live by sharping and robbing, he is generally poor and often very lousy. Besides, he is a rank coward." Did Benjamin Franklin time travel? Did he? In addition to adding in all the gold inlays and the statues, he also changed out a lot of the portraits, bringing back the picture of Andrew Jackson, because why wouldn't we celebrate him, villain to villain? And supposedly, I haven't been able to find it, so if you can find it, please email me. Supposedly, there is a gilded remote control somewhere. They've gold-leafed the TV remote. Nothing is untouched in this office, which I guess isn't surprising since the man bragged about owning a solid gold toilet, and he boldly shared pictures of his apartment that looks like this, as if it was something to be proud of. Like, girl, that makes Marie Antoinette embarrassed for you, honestly. It's so bright, it hurts my eyes. And obviously Trump has done all of this because he believes that the gold is symbolic of his success. But like the bald eagle, I think this is all a show because deep down he's a rank coward. I'm gonna memorize that quote from Benjamin Franklin. Trump has additional plans for renovations that are gonna cost taxpayers millions and millions of dollars. I know you were worried about the price of eggs and groceries, but is it cool if he goes ahead and he extends the ballroom to hold lavish parties you're never gonna be invited to? He also wants to pave over the rose garden because why would you leave it lush and green and beautiful like this when you could pave it over and make it a sad beige parking lot? And to give you an idea of what we could have had, because every president kind of adds something to the White House for their stay. President Nixon added a bowling alley, which is like actually pretty cool. Gerald Ford added a swimming pool. See how that's very mindful of your tax dollars? Very demure, very considerate of the state of things in America. George Bush Sr. added in tennis courts. Obama added basketball hoops to those same tennis courts because like he's a sustainable king. He's like, we already got these courts. All I got to do is add a few inexpensive basketball hoops. Woo! But not us. We're not going to get a beautiful garden. We're going to get a sad beige parking lot. And what would we expect from a man who thinks that when he does his bronzer 12 shades darker than his actual skin color, that it looks fantastic? This is the aesthetic we're working with. This is the American aesthetic now. Congratulations.